Hello and welcome back to Freedom Cry, the new DLC by Ubisoft that goes on the back of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This is Mission 7, or Memory 7. You've got a tale of this guy, Lewis Goulding, I believe was his name then. So you just literally, Lewis Goulding, that's it. You literally just run forward from the start place, eagle vision to mark him, and I found this little bit down here. I messed about a bit, he was able to see me for a little bit, but there's a little bush here. Jump in there, and then he walks past, and you can sort of stay parallel to him because you're on lower ground, and he doesn't really see you. This was, right, I ended up doing this bit a few times. It was one of the hardest tail missions I've had to do. There's a lot of guards around on his route, and he stops an awful amount of times. So I ended up finding this route, and this is the route I would suggest anybody take, because I tried it on the roof, and on the roof was absolutely terribly hard. There's so many shooters on the roof that I just gave up on that, and I was like, right, I'm going to choose a different way, and I've done it on the floor using the buildings as cover. So I've followed him a little. I'm a little bit far away from him, and I also got stuck on a bucket, and then he climbed on the bucket and then climbed off. Nice. So yeah. If you remember from the previous mission, this is where you was doing a tailing before. But if you go on the roof at that point, there's just all sorts of havoc happening. So I just come round the building, and I stayed this side of the building. And then Lewis Goulding meets up with another fella right here. And they talk about some stuff, and that triggers the next part of the mission. So you now have two people you have to keep tagged and keep your eye on. The next part of the mission, you've got to tail them a little bit further along, and I was like, okay, this is all restricted area. Let me get behind this building. I got behind here and I found this bush. Now this bush is key to doing this next part of the mission. I found this bush to be the very easiest place to start this next part of the mission from. And I think, I don't know, the way I did this mission kind of felt a bit cheesy in a way, because I'm sure they meant for you to do it a lot more, I don't know, I'm sure it was supposed to be a lot more difficult than it ended up being for me. So I'm waiting here, I'm scoping the area out. I've got to reach that marker without being detected, without damaging the two tagged yellow people. So I spent a little while checking out what was going on, and I decided I was going to drop a firecracker and distract a couple of people into this bush. So drop the firecracker, I'm like, okay, I'm going to swing over to this bush here on the right. So I get into this bush, and then I realise I can get straight to that bush that the guy was standing in, and there's no one about. That guy kind of wants to have a look, but then he gets distracted by the firecracker as well. So I'm just in this bush on my own, right next to the objective, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is pretty much, this part of the mission is pretty much easy going from now. So that guy's backing up, reversing, I don't know what he's doing. So I'm like, okay, let me knock this guy out, because of my newfound glory of not killing people during missions. I thought, oh, I'll just knock him out, see how that goes. Wondered if this guy would come close enough to the bush. He doesn't. So I'm thinking, is it this easy? Can I just, do I just run to the thing? So I just literally took a small walk. I pressed B, realised I had to hold B, so I'm holding it, I'm swapping it, I'm thinking this is not going to be this easy. He swaps the manifests around. Everybody starts going crazy, starts wanting to attack me. I'm like, right, I'm going to run. I'm going to just go for it. Tells me to use the blunderbuss. So I thought, oh, you know what? I don't shoot it often, so you know, I'll give it a bit of a shot, and then I'm just gone. I'm gone. People chasing me. I don't really care. So yeah, I've got to leave the area and become invisible. So I'm like, okay, climb up here, nowhere to go. Climb back down here. I'm like, okay, back to where I was earlier on in the mission. I know there's a good couple of alleyways and that around here. And then there's one of these. I jump straight in it, and that triggers the next part of the mission. So the next part of the mission is where the optional objectives come involved. So you've got to kill all of the small ships, the schooners, before sinking the brig. And you've also got to sink all of the ships within 6 minutes. I thought that was quite a generous amount of time. Like, from what I can remember of naval combat, it doesn't last very long, especially when schooners are involved. I killed one outright with a mortar shot. I thought that was pretty good. I fire another mortar shot, outright kill another ship, and I realise I'm just careering into gunpowder barrels, so I start shooting some of those up as I catch up to the main fleet. But I've already killed 2 of their ships, and that means I've only got 5 to go, and that was in like literally 30 seconds. So I'm thinking I'm well on time for the 6 minutes here, and then you'll be able to see my prowess of naval combat. You know, get the chain shot, one, you know, take down the schooner in one chain shot. The ship's kind of quite upgraded at this point of the game, of this memory sequence, the DLC, the Freedom Cry. So if you're here at this point, I would suggest upgrading your ship a little bit before you tackle this mission, because it just makes it that much easier. Just have a little bit of a scout with the binoculars, work out what ship's what, where the ships are, do a complete miss with the mortar there, which is pretty terrible. Realise I'm about to career into the ship I'm about to save, so quick adjustment of course there. So I'm real deep into the naval combat now. I'm right in the middle. I've taken out 2 more schooners, and this guy, he doesn't stand a chance. My swivel's hitting for a quarter of his health. That's ridiculous. And then yeah, just ram him for the last part. Get a bit of heavy shot on this guy, sink him instantly, and that's it. All the schooners are down, and I haven't even attempted to shoot the brig yet, because I was making sure that I was doing that part of it. So, you know, back on the mortars, shooting it. There was a big wave there, didn't notice it, should have braced, but, you know, I come along the front, I brace because I think I'm going to crash into him. I do crash into him, and then a massive broadside, and yeah, by this point, that ship is nothing but rubble already. This shot, lovely, little bit of a slow motion shot there, as I disable the ship, and then eventually sink the ship, getting the 6-minute finish and 100% sink of the level. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and hopefully Memory 8 will be up soon. Bye.